Alex Collins was just off the practice squad yesterday. So the Browns got like 2 touchdowns. Get the ball back at midfield with 6:35 to go. Kaiser's 9 out of 18 for 129 yards and 2 interceptions. And a flag comes in.
The flag looked like he came across and then the tackle moved. That was just my eye telling me that.
Well, play clock was also winding down. Kaiser's already been called for delay of game twice at quarterback.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 55. 5-yard penalty, first down.
But it goes on subs and gives the Browns 5 more yards.
And I'll tell you, if I was lined up opposite Suggs and he came across, I would move too. Just a little bit by Suggs.
Kaiser down the field for Coates. Juggled, he caught it but out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Now, Kaiser's doing a great job, but these receivers are pinned too close to the sideline. There's no room for Kaiser to really throw them open. You've got to fight. At practice, when you go to facilities, there's a red line, which is halfway in between the outside edge of the numbers and the sideline, and it's 6 yards from the boundary. And you would love for your wide receivers to give your quarterback more room to throw the ball deep over the outside shoulder and not run down what I call the lateral, which is where you see the white stripes on the sideline.
Coates still without a catch this season. Kaiser tries to escape and throws it incomplete to Johnson. Guess who? Terrell Suggs nearly had his 2nd sack.
And you see him talking to Gene Serrator. He says, you know, when I came into the league, they used to have a rule called in the grass. And that used to be a sack when you had the quarterback like that. No, not anymore. Not with big, strong guys like DeShone Kizer.
John Harbaugh told us, I've never seen Suggs in such great shape before. Did not have to rehab an injury over the summer. He was able to work out. As Hugh Jackson said, it seems like Terrell Suggs has found the fountain of youth at the age of 34. His 3rd quarterback hit. It's 3rd and 5.
Get his ass.
Kaiser chased out again. Throws.
There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. He need a raise.
Be awesome to have this guy around all the time.
Let's go, Bud Light here.
Bud Light? Bud Light?
Let's go, Bud Light here.
Bud Light's all around.
Let's go, Bud Light here.
Yeah, right here.
Let's go, Bud Light here. Let's go, Bud Light here. Let's go, Bud Light here. Let's go, Bud Light here. Let's go, Bud Light here.
I was wrong. This is where you belong. I'm going before I change my mind.
Let's go, Bud Light here. Let's go, Bud Light.
Here's to the friends you can always count on. Bud Light, brewed to be America's favorite light lager.
Address should be there, 1800 Ann Street. Hello?
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest fares as low as $59 one way. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
These are Domino's all-new Parmesan dusted, garlic seasoned, and cinnamon sprinkled bread twists. How did we come up with such a clever name? We'll never tell. Choose any 2 of Domino's new bread twists or medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each.
I'm really excited you're on the show.
Really? How excited?
Leah Remini joins the cast of Kevin Can Wait, premieres Monday, September 25th.
6:09 to go, fourth quarter in Baltimore. The Ravens lead the Browns 24-10. Once again, this Baltimore defense has done a great job. For the second straight week, they have forced 5 turnovers. The latest one, an interception thrown by DeShone Kizer, picked off by Brandon Carr. The last 2 interceptions thrown by Kizer have not even been close. And the Ravens offense go back to work.
Offside. Number 94. Get your ass off the fucking field.
Ravens' opponents have only scored 10 points. They've kicked 9 punts. Their opponents have thrown 8 interceptions.
Encroachment, defense number 94. 5-yard penalty, first down.
For DeShone Kizer, we saw him in the conversation with Hugh Jackson. Every young quarterback goes through this, where you have to learn to not try and do too much. Make the plays that are there when the plays are not there. Because you saw the one play where he throws the ball late down the middle. Now he's rolling to the right, throws the ball late back into traffic. Those are mistakes of young players and veterans.
Alex Collins on the carry. Let's take a look at what this Ravens defense has done against Cleveland today.
This Ravens defense has been scary for about the last 15 years, and it's starting to flap its wings once again. When I talked to Brandon Carr before the game, he said, I want to give you something to talk about. He gave us something to talk about. Tight coverage all game long, and it pays off with an interception in the fourth quarter.
With James Lofton and Steve Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalan. Week 2 here in Baltimore as the Ravens try to run their record to 2-0, and there's been a lot of talk about how good this Ravens defense is. It's only been 2 games, but so far they've forced 10 turnovers. On the run, completes it to Watson, who's got a Baltimore first down. 8th catch of the day for the veteran Benjamin Watson. This one goes for 12 yards.
We have a checklist here. You can check off Ravens defense good. Joe Flacco. Somebody must have put some oil on him, because we were talking about maybe he's a little rusty, maybe the back hurts a little bit. Well, they've oiled up the back, and I haven't seen any signs of rust on Joe Flacco today.
9 completions for Flacco last week. Today he's 25 out of 34 for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. Back as we're inside 5 minutes to go. Net at the line with the Browns expecting run, and in second down, Terry Kindred leading the charge. Danny Shelton also in on the stop for Cleveland.
When I was coaching, we would have a 9-on-7 drill. We'd have 7 offensive players, 9 defensive players, and it'd be a running drill. I always thought, that's not fair. And that's what we just saw in the last play. It looked like the 9-on-7 drill for the defense, where everybody stacked up on the line, and running back gets pounded.
How do you know I do?
Second and 11. Allen again met in the backfield. Do you use a timeout here if you're Hugh Jackson?
He did immediately. He heard us thinking about it. And it's a little different, though, because this is a team that won 1 game last year.
Look what you done there.
Now, they did win all 4 preseason games. So a little bit of learning how to win, learning how to manage games. They're going to be in this situation maybe more times than not, where they're behind, trying to come through in games.
Coming up on the State Farm postgame show, JB, Phil, Nate Boomer, and Coach Cower have all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the State Farm postgame show. As Kizer said, welcome to the NFL, right? His first game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, his second game in Baltimore. Next week, the Browns go to Indianapolis, and then they host Cincinnati and the Jets. They have 1 timeout remaining after Jackson just called the timeout to stop the clock with 4 minutes to go.
A couple of things going for DeShone Kizer. Hugh Jackson is very positive. DeShone Kizer is very positive. They meet at 5 a.m. in the morning. And when you have somebody who's that studious and that dedicated to what he's doing, there will be improvement, but there will also be bumps in the road.
Stoppage. And Baltimore is called timeout.
Second charge timeout. Baltimore.
Well, next Sunday, these Ravens and the Jaguars go to London. James Lofton and I going with them. And then J.J. Watt and the Texans tackle Brady and the Patriots. And later on, the Bengals head into Lambeau to battle Rodgers and the Packers. Don't forget, JB, Phil, Coach Nate Boomer. He'll be on the NFL Today starting at noon Eastern time. Now, we asked Kizer, you meet at 5 a.m. with Hugh Jackson, or you're just out of college. Are you an early riser? He said, oh, yeah. At Notre Dame, he would rather do his homework at 5 in the morning than at 11 o'clock at night. So he said he's used to getting up early. 21-year-old kid getting up at 5 a.m. Not many of those.
Well, tonight, after throwing a couple of interceptions, it might be a sleepless night.
That's a good point. So, all right, Ravens have one timeout left now. 3rd and 13. Hands it off to Allen. And Allen's going to be short of a first down, but a late flag comes in from behind the play. Gene Steratore, the referee.
So it looks like he's placing this flag beyond the line of scrimmage, so if it's a hold down the field, it's a
Holding.
point.
Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
That's on Tony Bergstrom, who, if you're just joining us, is replacing the injured Marshall Yonda. He's out for the rest of the game with a left ankle injury.
He wraps them up. You've got to kind of punch players and get the hands up inside. When you start to hug them like you haven't seen them in a long time, hey, buddy, how you doing? That's holding.
Interesting decision to accept the penalty by Hugh Jackson. Make him run another play, but now more time's going to come off the clock. 3:55 to go.
Well, they were in field goal range.
Allen hitting midfield, it's still going. And now it's 4th down, and out comes Sam Cook, the punter. Browns have called their final timeout with 3:48 to go, so no timeouts the rest of the way for Hugh Jackson.
Players are so fun. And Justin Tucker is a kicker and a player, and he was walking down the sideline as if to say, I can make it from there. He's doing the math in his head going, okay, this is 67, 68, this is my time. I can handle this one.
He has made a 79-yarder in practice, and he has been begging for a chance to kick one from 70 yards or longer. There's only been 6 70-yard attempts or longer in NFL history. Now, in practice, no one's rushing
on the sideline for one.
Janikowski.
Lane Kiffin called a 76-yarder, and Antonio Cromartie was playing for the Chargers going back. He was trying to return it before the end of the half.
It was way short. Tucker doesn't get his wish here. It's Cook. Punted. So that's a bounce at the 2 that goes into the end zone. With 3:40 to go in the 4th quarter, no timeouts left for the Browns. They do have the 2-minute warning. They trail by 2 touchdowns. John Harbaugh, in his career as the Ravens head coach, 16-2 against the Cleveland Browns. So on the verge of going to 17-2. We'd like to welcome those of you just joining us here in Baltimore with Hall of Fame wide receiver James Lofton and Steve Tasker, our entire crew. I'm Andrew Catalan. This Baltimore defense, after shutting out Cincinnati in Week 1, is doing it again. This time to Cleveland. They have forced 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions thrown by a rookie quarterback, DeShone Kizer, who takes the snap on 1st down and checks it down to the tight end, Njoku. Caught a touchdown earlier in the game, but that touchdown throw was from Kevin Hogan. If you're just joining us, DeShone Kizer missed the majority of the first half with a migraine. Did not return until midway through the 3rd quarter, and he has had a tough day with those 3 interceptions.
There is a relentless attitude and pace that you see on display with the Baltimore Ravens defensively.
Good protection here. Kizer steps up, he'll keep it himself and slides down at the 30, and that is very close to a Cleveland first down. But Kizer off the mark here the last couple of times with his throws. These interceptions, I mean, that was not even close in the end zone to Higgins. And 360 replay here, Brandon Carr with the pick.
And throwing the ball, rolling to your right and throwing it back across your body just allows defenders to really drive on the ball.
Suggs coming with pressure. Kizer steps up, gets rid of it, and completes it to Duke Johnson, who sheds a tackle. And then Johnson brought down a yard shy of a first down, a gain of 9.
See the eyes down the field, scans left, comes back to the right, and that high release over the defensive lineman so that ball doesn't get tipped in that occasion.
Pressure coming, and what a strike by Kaiser to Ricardo Lewis. Tony Jefferson had a free lane to Kaiser, who just got rid of it, and Lewis brings it to the Baltimore 38-yard line, a gain of 24, and we've hit the 2-minute warning here in Baltimore. Browns down 2 touchdowns, but on the move against the Ravens.
It all comes down to this. The Energizer Bunny gets the snap. He's still going! Nothing outlasts Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
It's Gargadon! Dick, if you try to conquer Ninjago.
Lloyd.
It's Lloyd. Ninjago! We got a message from Gargadon. You're a big, stupid dum-dum. You smell like a bug. Yay!
The Lego Ninjago movie. Rated PG.
We just gotta take it one game at a time. Next question.
Can you repeat everything you just said?
My live stream won't load.
Technical foul.
Wrong sport.
Wrong network. See, you need unlimited on Verizon. It's America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. They won't let you down in places like this, even in the strike zone.
It's the red zone.
Pretty sure it's the strike zone. Here, use mine. All right, see you on the court, champ. Heads up.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Plans now start at $40 per line for 4 lines. Like this don't come around often. Introducing the all-new Type R, the most powerful Civic ever from Honda.
Card turkey is back for a limited time at Subway. So much turkey.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Type R, the most powerful Civic ever from Honda. And by the Subway Autumn Carved Turkey.
2 minutes to go in Baltimore. Browns do not have a timeout remaining. They trail by 2 touchdowns. They've got the ball at the Baltimore 38-yard line. Kaiser out of the shotgun. Fires in the direction of Coates. Incomplete. It was Marlon Humphrey, the rookie out of Alabama, on the coverage for the Ravens.
And did you see Deshaun Kaiser going, what is that? Because there was not a lot of effort at the end of that route by Sammy Coates. You're supposed to run a comeback. You drive the defender up the field, and then you really come back hard to the outside. So he's expecting that down stem to be at the same speed that he's bursting up the field. You are being evaluated this time, and everybody wants to see you compete. So Hugh Jackson, Al Saunders, the assistant head coach, they're looking for competition right now.
2nd and 10. Suggs coming up the middle. Kaiser gets rid of it, but it's dropped by Ricardo Lewis. And a late flag has come in back at the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And that's on Sean Coleman, the second-year man out of Auburn.
Pockets there. Maybe the pocket's there a little bit because there's a little bit of a hole, but Suggs up and under, and just take your eyes off the ball just for a moment. You've got to really secure that catch first. It's so simple, but it's not always easy because you do feel that defensive pressure around you. You know that defensive backs are either waiting for interceptions or waiting to give you a big lift.
Coleman not the first to hold Terrell Suggs. Probably won't be the last either. 2nd and 20. Kaiser to Higgins. And Higgins out of bounds just across the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Browns. Carr on the coverage again for Ravens defense. If you're just joining us, that has forced 10 turnovers in the first 2 games of the season. 4 interceptions today by the Baltimore defense. Dean Pease, the Baltimore defensive coordinator, as this crowd for the Ravens home opener gets loud on 3rd and 17. Kaiser chased out, buying some time. He'll keep it himself and just run out of bounds. It'll be 4th down for Cleveland and 1:35 to go.
If you're Hugh Jackson and the coaching staff for the Cleveland Browns, you're evaluating every play. Does he make a good decision? That time, outside the pocket, there's a good decision that was made because he glanced to the middle of the field. There were 2 Brown receivers there. But by the time that ball travels that distance, there are going to be about 4 Raven defenders also around the ball. So, better decision to step out of bounds, take a few positive yards, and try and come back the next snap and see if you can pick up a 1st down.
Browns 2 for 2. This could be the ball game if they don't get it. Kaiser caught by Dow, who reaches out for a 1st down. So Cleveland now 3 for 3 on 4th downs this season, but the clock continues to tick. Cleveland does not have a timeout.
What a great job by Dow, who was coming across the field to stop and then come back in the opposite direction. Because he was able to locate the eyes of Kaiser. The eyes of Kaiser said, no, go the other direction.
Kaiser. And that pass is caught for a short gain by Ricardo Lewis. Tight coverage again by Marlon Humphrey, the 1st-round pick of Alabama.
If you're Ricardo Lewis, you like the fact that your quarterback came back to you. You like it even more that you came up with the catch. Nice tight coverage by Humphrey.
An Auburn receiver making a short catch on an Alabama defensive.
Where's the little robot dude go? Where's the little robot dude go?
It'll be 3rd down and 7. And just a reminder that coming up on the State Farm postgame show, JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and Coach Cower will have all the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the State Farm postgame show. If the Browns don't find a way to pull out a miracle here, it'll be their 14th consecutive loss on the road.
No, there's no miracle.
Not one away from home since October of 2015 when they won here in Baltimore.
I would say that less than half.
Now they're actually going to They had to throw one, and then have to get the ball back.
37. Kaiser, and it's dropped. And Njoku with an easy one right in his hands, and now it's 4th and 7.
Now, Andrew, I'm going to be honest with you. I went through every form of drop while I was playing. The one that went off my fingertips, the one that bounced off my chest, the one that got lost in the sun, the one where the defensive back was holding. None of them help, and they give you an awful feeling in the pit of your stomach.
There's been a few of those today for these young Browns, youngest team in the NFL, an average age of 24 years old. Another 4th down. Pressure coming.
Got him.
Tim Williams wrapped him up, and that'll do it from here in Baltimore, fitting the Ravens defense, which has been outstanding to start this season.
Go ahead, my life.
Puts the icing on the cake against the rookie Kaiser in the Browns.
Every time you get up, you get my life.
The one thing I worry about a little bit with Kaiser is these off-target, not off-target, but kind of out of the getting tackled, trying to throw, twisting, turning. Sometimes it's just better to take the sack. Because when you get in these awkward positions, that's when you get the injuries that everybody just, those gruesome injuries that people see.
So Ravens opponents in 2 games have scored 10 points total and have turned the ball over 10 times total. Baltimore goes to 2-0 while the Browns fall to 0-2.
Look at that.
They'll meet again.
They're 36-20.
As John Harbaugh runs his career
New England and New Orleans. 36-20.
Hugh Jackson, former quarterbacks coach here in Baltimore for a couple years under John Harbaugh. He said it was Harbaugh that jump-started his career. But today, it's Harbaugh that gets the win 24-10. Coming up next, the State Farm postgame show. For James Lofton, Steve Tasker, our entire crew, this is Andrew Catalan saying so long from Baltimore. We'll take you back to New York for all the scores and highlights right after this. Again, the Ravens win 24-10.
Yeah, I just saved a whole lot of money by switching to Geico.
Huh. We should take a closer look at Geico. You know, Geico insures way more than cars, boats, motorcycles, even RVs. Geico insures RVs. What's an RV?
The thing we've been stuck on for 5 years.
Wait, I'm not a real moose? We've been over this, Jeff.
We're stickers.
I'm not a real moose. Give him some space.
Deep breaths, Jeff.
What's a sticker? Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more. CBS Sports presents the Geico Play of the Day.
Tom Brady and the defending champion Patriots have a way about rebounding off the loss down in the Netherlands. Brady finds Rob Gronkowski, who stirs the Saints safety Marcus Williams, prances 53 yards into the end zone. TB12 throws 3 first-quarter touchdowns. The Patriots make it look easy in the Big Easy.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
What does FanDuel do to your football season? Same thing cheese, guac, beans, salsa, and beef do to
worker
chips.
at the zoo, I don't know what zoo it
Contests
was,
start from $1. You can play
was having sex with a reptile,
for a share of $1 million.
and police found him dead.
Tickets to games and incredible fan
Basically saying they were fucking the reptile, and the reptile probably killed the shit out of them.
fantasy football games been waiting for. Get free entry into the Sunday Million with a
It says, don't you just hate it when you're getting it on with a zoo animal, another one just comes over and rudely interrupts. That's what happened to 24-year-old zoo employee when he was caught out by a rather large reptile you really wouldn't want to come face to face with. Unfortunately for everyone involved, this wasn't just some harmless sexy fun, and things took a dramatic turn for the worse within the space of seconds.
I'm Henry Achani.
We have a department
dedicated to representing.
Basically saying he was having sex with an alligator and he fucking killed him.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. He was hitting the alligator from the back, and there was a chick alligator and the male alligator coming like, "The hell you doing to my woman?" And Amy's is like, "Bitch, my woman."
People are.
PayPal lets you set your payment preferences in advance. So when you're ready to check out, you won't have to type in those digits.
This is the State Farm Postgame Show.
And welcome back to Inside Studio 43 and the State Farm Postgame Show. I'm James Brown alongside my mates, Coach Bill Cowher, Nate Burleson, Boomer Esiason, and Phil Simms.
It shows a picture of them pulling his body out of the belly.
Professional bull riding, it's unparalleled, dangerous drama.
It was down
and
in
fierce
Florida
determination,
where it happened.
Bill. Man versus a 2,000-pound bull. Boom, here we go. At the Wranglers Long Live Cowboys 15-15 fucking battle. That's next right here on CBS. I'm glad you get to do that, JB. How about the Patriots and the New Orleans Saints? 984 total yards between the two great quarterbacks and offenses in this game. Defense has really struggled, especially the Saints defense. 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter by Tom Brady. The first time he's ever done that, Nate, in his career. Up and down the field. Gronk left with 1 injury. Chris Hogan right here is going to make a touchdown pass after a nice pick by Brandon Cooks, the former New Orleans Saint. And you can see that 36-20. I would say that Tom Brady's back. 30 of 39, 447 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not that he ever left, but the panic after losing to Kansas City, basically, it's now forgotten. All right, and after the game, it was our ace reporter, Tracy Wilson, who caught up with Chris Hogan.
Chris, so much frustration after last week, but your offense certainly got back on track. What was the difference today?
You know, we just came out here, we talked about it all week, putting 4 quarters of good football together, playing complementary football, you know, offense, defense, special teams, starting fast, keeping drives going, and, you know, not killing ourselves. And, you know, guys went out there and played really good.
You came in with just 3 wide receivers, and then Gronk goes out, Philip Dorsett gets hurt. It looks like you got a little banged up. What's the concern going into Houston now?
Oh, there's no concern. Every guy, we have a lot of guys on this team that are capable of making a lot of plays, and the guys are going to step up every single week, throughout the entire season, and, we'll do a good job. We'll get ourselves rested and ready to go for Houston next week.
Appreciate the time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, guys, instant update right now. 2-yard touchdown pass from Derek Carr to Michael Crabtree versus the Jets. This is in the first quarter, so Raiders off to a good start, 7-0 over the Jets. And the interesting thing, guys, about the Patriots, everything's going to be fine. Now, they have a lot of injuries, and I think that Tom Brady actually can go out there and do it by himself. I don't care who he's playing with. He makes everybody better. And today what I saw was a much more dynamic offense, something that we expected to see, in the first week of the season. Yeah, I got to show love when love is good before the game. You were looking at this game, you said, they could go for 1,000 yards, so I got to give Booster Damas some love. They went for 984. Yes, 984, yes. So what did you see from the quarterback perspective? Because as I'm listening to you pregame, we know what it says about the offense, but what does it say about the defense? Well, I think the defense for the Saints is basically terrible, and Sean Payton said so after their Monday night debacle against Sam Bradford and the Minnesota Vikings. We're looking at all the different weapons and all the new players that now all of a sudden get back involved here. Gillislee involved, Burkhead involved, Cook's involved. Everybody's involved. And the amazing thing is it's all like positionless players. I mean, they can play anywhere on the field. And what I saw was a really determined Tom Brady. And as Tony Romo was talking about Brady in the pocket during this game, it was just perfect. He had quiet feet, right? And he wasn't getting nervous. And he doesn't get nervous in the pocket. So he just had a monster game, 30 of 39.
James White's another guy. I mean, you talk about positionless players, a guy that he's like a receiver half the time. You put him out in the backfield. And that's what they do. I mean, they try to create mismatches. They have a package. And Tom Brady, you spread the field on him. He sees the field probably as well as any quarterback does in the National Football League. And defensively, I'll tell you what, they still have 2 corners that can shut you down. The pressure will constantly be something we'll be talking about, I think, as this season goes on. But this offense is very potent.
What I saw there today? A really bad defense. New Orleans Saints. I mean, Tom Brady was great and all that, but, last week we saw Sam Bradford just eat them up throwing the football. In New Orleans, they can't play zone because then they get picked apart. Their pass rush is not good enough. They can't play man-to-man, especially against a team like the Patriots, because they always have somebody that they're going to match up you against that you can't cover. And we saw that. We've all talked about the running backs, the tight ends, and it's always just extra when the wide receivers kick in there, too.
There's no better team in the league with the next man up mentality. But even with that said, they're somewhat concerned seeing Gronk walk off the field gingerly. I mean, we know what we're dealing with Julian Edelman. He's off the field. But now Gronk, I hope that he makes it back. I don't know how long they can battle up against injury, because we know injuries always win when it comes to trying to make it. They will be playing one of the better defenses in the AFC, and that's the Houston Texans, who bounced back Thursday night. And now they have 10 days of rest waiting for that New England Patriot team. And the question is can Deshaun Watson do something against this Patriot defense on the road in Gillette Stadium? All right, Phil Simms has taken a sip of his coffee because he's up next, Buffalo at Carolina.
Hey, all right, JB, it was a slugfest, that's for sure. Cam Newton trying to get the crowd all pumped up before the game, but he's sacked by a defensive end, Jerry Hughes, for a loss of 14 yards. Really slow getting up, went to the tip, but he didn't come back later. And this was a big play late in the game, 6-3. Missed Christian McCaffrey for a touchdown, and that kept Buffalo alive for this last throw of the game. Oh my gosh, Tyrod Taylor stepped up in the pocket and just missed the throw down the field. So to Zay Jones, 9-3. Cam Newton, rusty still after not doing much in the preseason, and it was a tough game. Jabril Peppers, 6 tackles, 2 sacks.
And listening to the excitement between Nate Burleson and Coach Cowher, they were talking excitedly about the play of Luke Kuechly. After the game, it was Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon with Luke.
Well, Luke, congratulations, a great finish, but you guys played outstanding defensively, but you let this team hang around for 4 quarters.
Yeah, we gotta do a better job on defense of getting the ball out. We always talk about forcing turnovers and getting some short fields for the offense, and we played a good defensive team today, and we just got to help them out, man, and that's the biggest thing. We got some sacks. We need to get some turnovers. The run played great. Everyone's excited for a win.
I know you hang your hat on your run defense. Today will
LaShawn McCoy, 12 carries, just 9 yards. Just talk about bottling up the Great Bay.
Well, Coach Wilkes did a good job of calling a good game. Our guys up front did an excellent job, and those guys don't get enough credit. They played great last week. They did a good job this week, and when you got disruptive guys up there on a great rotation, it makes our job in the back end so much easier. So those guys played great.
You know, you hate to see players get hurt. Just your thoughts on Greg Olsen going down with a foot injury. It's tough to lose one of your better offensive players.
Yeah, you know, it's tough, but those guys on offense stepped up and did a good job. Greg will do everything he can to get back. We hope he's all right. Those guys stepped up and did an excellent job.
Keep it going, Luke. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, the 2 sacks were by Julius Peppers, not Jabril Peppers, but the Carolina defense today, they were all over Tyrod Taylor, Coach Gallup.
And they really were. When we talk about that linebacker, Thomas Davis, Shaq Thompson, that front seven, they are relentless. As good as they are in the National Football League, to be honest with you, it was a great matchup for them because if they have a question at all, it's at the corner position. They're not really a passing football team. So that defense was suffocating. I'll tell you what, Sean McDermott went down there. You know, he's practiced those last 4 years against Cam Newton to show. He gave him everything he could handle. We talked about that going in. The protege going against the mentor, Ron Rivera. And so they gave everything they could. They just could not get anything going against that front seven. Kudos to the efforts of the Buffalo Bills because I tell you, they came down there and played.
Including hitting Cam Newton every opportunity.
Right. The amazing thing about that defense, the Buffalo defense, it never looked that good under Rex Ryan. Never. Right. That defense was smothering Cam Newton. They were all over him, just like they were all over the Jets the week before. So things turning in the right direction, would you say, for the Buffalo Bills?
The big concern you had, Greg Olsen, broken foot. And that was a big part of that. Significant.
No better red zone target than Greg Olsen. But coming back to that game and how these two bottled up those quarterbacks. I mean, these are two of the more athletic quarterbacks in the league, and we joked about it being the slugfest, but credit to the defensive coordinators implement that game plan. But if defenses are going to do that to these quarterbacks moving forward, who else is going to step up? We need those running backs, wide receivers to make plays, just like Zay Jones with Tyrod Taylor at the end of that game.
But you know what? We didn't see a car crash on the field with respect to Olsen's broken ankle. So take us through.
Well, he was just running down the field and he pulls up, so we're not sure exactly. Some part of the foot he hurt, and you know, Nate, you're right. Really a big part of their offense. What's Cam Newton like to do? He likes to throw a lot of footballs high. Yeah. That's where he throws them. And Greg Olsen is a tight end and go down the seams and make those big plays for him.
And to Bill's point, Greg Olsen himself said it was indeed a broken foot. Coach, if you would take anything positive out of Buffalo with what McDermott is doing there from a coaching perspective, it would be?
Oh, absolutely the way they're playing defensively. I think, like Bruce said, I haven't played this well. These first 2 games, they played hard, they're playing fundamental, they're playing smart, they can run the football. They need to make some more plays in the passing game. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of things to be very encouraged by when you watch these first 2 games.
Well, Luke Kuechly and those guys took LaShawn McCoy out of the game. Now, Luke Kuechly, you heard what he said after the game. We got to get the ball out. They just held the other opponent. We got to keep the 6 points. They got to do more for their offense. Good, give that kid credit. What a captain.
And the State Farm post-game show will continue here in New York. Studio 43 with our guys, Boomer, Nate, Coach, and Phil. We'll do all of that after this.
7 years, never a scratch.
That's more than a scratch.
What do you think about a new truck, buddy?
State Farm knows it's more than a truck, so why not give it the protection it deserves?
I'm so sorry.
Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Allergy sufferers, a word to the wise. If symptoms at night ruin your next day, try new Zysol. It relieves symptoms while you sleep and keeps relieving all day. Because Zysol's as effective at hour 24 as at hour 1. So, be Wisel. Take new Zysol.
Experience Control GX for Men. The first shampoo with a brain. What makes it so smart? It reduces gray the same way it grows in. Gradually. The more you shampoo with Control GX, the less gray you have. Just use it until you like what you see. How smart is that? Gradually reduce gray with Control GX from Just for Men. The first shampoo with a brain. Andre is an air traffic controller. When it comes to planning the best routes, nobody does it better. He's also a championship-winning football coach. Look at that formation. When it comes to mortgages, he's less confident. Fortunately for Andre, there's Rocket Mortgage. That's Rocket. So he can understand the details and be sure he's getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.